I wouldn't say there's any right or wrong way to freeform. Just because you have semi-freeform locks, like I do, doesn't mean that your locks aren't authentic or that they're not, true locks. The lock community has all these classifications of different type of locks just to, I guess, put our hair in categories, but it really doesn't matter. Your hair is your hair, and what you want to do with your hair is what you want to do with it. Hey y'all, welcome back to Holistic Flow. I am your girl Lolo. I'm holding my mic today because my hair is getting super long. I usually clip it on my shirt like this, but then my beads go like this and all you hear is clankety clank, 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 clank. So I've decided to hold it until I graduate microphones. So in today's video, I'm going to tell you how to start Freeform Locs if you haven't started your lock journey already, or if you've already started but you have traditional locks or some other method, how to start freeforming when you're already in the journey. A lot of people have asked me questions like, is it ever too early to start freeforming, or am I doing it the right way, or how should I start? So I'll be telling you all about that in this video. Disclaimer, I don't have full freeform locks. What I mean by that is, I do some type of maintenance. So I started my locks with 2-strand twists. Some people may say, oh, that's not freeform, because freeform is just not doing anything with your hair except washing it and drying it. But we'll get into that. Before we start, if you are new here to my channel, hello. Here on Holistic Flow, we are creating a safe space for self-love, self-growth, and maturity, and we're taking a journey towards an overall better mind, body, and spirit connection. So if you're with that, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, turn on your notifications so you know whenever I upload a new video. After you have done that, thank you so much. Let's go ahead and get right into it. So you may have heard the term in the lock community, freeform locks and semi-freeform locks. I'll explain both of them. Freeform locks is the most natural state that your hair can take. When you wash your hair and don't detangle your hair, you don't put it in sections, no twists, no braid outs, nothing. You just allow your hair to form how it wants to form in the sections that it wants to form in. And it is the least amount of maintenance that you can ever do to your locks. So you don't retwist, you don't palm roll, you don't separate it in sections, you don't part, nothing of that nature. Really no type of hands-on maintenance. All you do is wash your hair when your wash day comes, and then probably air dry, hopefully no heat, but just wash it and dry it. That's it. The difference between freeform and semi-freeform is that semi-freeform is not maintaining it to a certain extent. Semi-freeform is exactly what it sounds like. It's like you're freeforming, but you kind of not. Like you're freeforming, but you're kind of traditional, and you're somewhere in between. And that gap is very wide. So, for example, some people may start their locks with 2-strand twists, like I did. Somewhere down the line, they stop their maintenance. They stop retwisting, they stop palm rolling. Maybe they still separate their locks on wash day, but not with the comb, right? If you semi-freeform, you still do some type of maintenance other than just leave it alone. So some people will see my hair and be like, wow, I love your freeform locks. Or they'll look at my hair and be like, huh, I love your hair. When's the next time you're gonna retwist? And I'm like, because some people, all they know about locks is retwisting or the maintenance, right? And I feel there's not many people who understand the fact that you don't have to do anything to your locks for them to lock up. You don't have to do any type of maintenance. So that gets into the question of, how do you start freeform locks? So for those who have loose natural hair and are thinking about starting locks, maybe you're thinking about going down the freeform avenue. Think about it this way. What happens when you don't detangle your hair? On wash day, if you don't detangle your hair and then you go to style it, won't it be a nightmare, right? Because our hair naturally wants to get tangled up. It's what the hair naturally does. If you have texture in your hair is going to get matted. And the truth is, our hair locks on its own without any product, without any doing of our own. And You start Freeform Locs by leaving the hair alone, by stopping all type of maintenance. So if you have loose natural hair, you can start Freeform Locs by just continuing to wash your hair, but stopping all of your maintenance. Now, if you've already started locks, maybe you have traditional locks, maybe you have semi-freeform locks to where maybe you retwist once a year, or maybe you just palm roll your locks, or maybe like me, you braid your new growth into your locks. If you want to see a video on that, click on the tab. But if you already started your locks, you can certainly freeform your locks, and you can start at any time. All that involves is whatever maintenance that you are doing, you can completely stop your maintenance, or maybe you choose to still do some type of maintenance and continue to semi-freeform your locks. Either way, I wouldn't say there's any right or wrong way to freeform. Just because you have semi-freeform locks, like I do, doesn't mean that your locks aren't authentic or that they're not, true locks. The lock community has all these like classifications of different type of locks just to, I guess, put our hair in categories, but it really doesn't matter. Your hair is your hair, and what you want to do with your hair is what you want to do with it. So I've personally had my locks for about 2 years and a few months. I started my locks with 2-strand twists. I started with 74 locks at first, and over the 2 years I've combined a few here and there, and now I have 68 locks total. For the first 6 months of my lock journey, I was retwisting my hair probably about every month or every month and a half. And then I realized that maybe I could stop retwisting and then my hair could still grow, but actually it may lock faster, and I was right. So I stopped retwisting after about 7 months. That is when I started semi-freeforming, because I still probably plan to do some type of maintenance, maybe once or twice a year. But shortly after I stopped retwisting, I realized that I had a lot of little scraggly pieces around my edges. They would get very fuzzy around here, and my new growth wasn't locking up like the rest of my hair. So then I realized that my new growth grows away from my locks, and I realized I probably should do some type of maintenance in order for my locks to not look thin, because it's not breakage, but it's just that the new hairs that grow in don't want to form with the rest of the lock. So it looks like breakage, and it looks like there's a whole bunch of fuzzy pieces in the roots, like it probably looks like now. But I decided to braid my new growth into my locks, and so that is the only maintenance that I do. Of course, I separate my hair because I kind of have to separate it to braid my new growth into my locks to see the sections. But other than that, I don't palm roll my locks, and I don't retwist my locks. That's just one way that a semi-freeform journey can look, but it can vary from person to person. Now, if you have not started your locks, but you're looking into starting semi-freeform locks, then you can start with 2-strand twists like I did, and then just don't do anything with your hair. Or you could start with comb coils. So if you're looking at starting semi-freeform locks and then going into a freeform journey, then you could always start your hair in sections and then freeform. So you could start your hair in 2-strand twists and then freeform from there. So you could start with the twist, but after that, you just wash it. You don't separate, you don't part, you don't retwist or any of that, right? Or you could start with comb coils. Those are probably the most popular ways that people start locks. Comb coils may give the locks a more cylindrical look, while 2-strand twists allow the locks to maintain some type of texture. It usually allows your curl pattern to pop out a little bit more as your hair begins to mature. As you can see, I've started my hair with 2-strand twists, and the texture still looks the same. I combined a couple locks using the 2-strand twist method. This is one of them. And as you can see, when I put this twist or this lock now next to another lock, you can barely tell the difference. It kind of like blends in, right? Because my 2-strand twists, as I've started my hair with 2-strand twists, it's continued to keep the pattern, and also because I have semi-freeform my locks, it has kept its pattern because I never really palm rolled my hair. So it still looks like, you know, my natural curl pattern is peeking through. I wouldn't recommend starting freeform locks with braids, just because starting with braids really condenses the hair down into, you know, little sections. And then when you start freeforming, the new growth is going to look so much more puffy than the braids. Another thing about freeform locks or semi-freeform locks is that you might want to use less product. So if you've already started locks and you've been using some type of gel or, you know, maybe even like oils or creams to retwist your hair, freeform locks tend to maybe even get flat. They may tend to get a little bit thicker because you're not putting as much maintenance on your hair. So because of that, they can sometimes be prone to more buildup. And gels and creams, they are a magnet for lock buildup. Also lint in your locks, etc. So since locks are the most natural shape that your hair can ever take, why not use more natural products and more minimal products? So the less products you use, probably the better. And when you do use products, you want to use kind of like light products, no heavy products to weigh down your hair, because you may not feel the effects right now if you're in your starter phase, but later on down the line, your hair's going to get so much more heavy, so much more weighed down, and it can also maybe even cause breakage down the line if you have so much product buildup weighing your locks down. And overall, the number one tip I would have to start or even maintain your freeform or semi-freeform locks is to leave the hair alone. The hair wants to be left alone. And honestly, whenever I see, you know, freeform locks, any type of freeform locks, it makes me happy. It makes me feel like, you know, the hair is thriving. The hair is where it's supposed to be, because again, our hair naturally locks. When you don't do anything to your hair, it just kind of naturally forms in its shape. And if you're in a starter phase, any type of locks, then your hair is still learning how to conform into its most natural shape. All of your hair's life, it's been used to being detangled and being manipulated and being bogged down with product. But when you have locks, it's kind of relearning its most natural form. So the best thing to do is just to leave the hair alone, maybe even covering the hair throughout the day so that you don't touch it. I know sometimes we get hand and hair syndrome where we want to touch our hair all the time. Maybe put it back, pull it back. Head wraps are great, but overall, just leave it alone. Like Michael Jackson said, just leave me alone. That's what your hair says. And yeah, that is how you start and or maintain your freeform locks. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope that it's helpful. If it is, give it a big thumbs up. And also subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. See my lock playlist. Also, I'll put the link in the description box below. And I hope to see you in the next video. Until then, I'm sending peace your way, love your way, and joy to you, your family, and your friends. All right, y'all. Peace. Now, really quickly, a lot of you all have subscribed to my Holistic Fit Meditation YouTube page, and I greatly appreciate you for that. I was giving a lot of helpful information on there, but I felt like I wanted to reach you all a little bit better. So if you want to deepen your meditation practice, I've curated these Holistic Fit Meditation memberships for you. When you become a member, you get access to live stream guided meditations with me Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And it's geared towards those who want to enhance their journey toward a better mind, body, and spirit connection. So we'll focus on breath work, body scan meditations to be more aware of the body and sync the breath and the mind and the body together. Relieve pain and tension in the body and mind, and enhance your focus and concentration. So we can really get clear about our goals in life, our vision, so we can move forward without so much mental clutter. Plus you get bonus community Q&A calls and wellness talks every month. So you can go ahead and check that out by clicking the link below to become a member, or you can just go to my website at holisticfitmeditation.com, and I hope to see you practicing soon.